This the big coming, that's a bummer. Watch by me. This the biggest bounce of the summer.
Tomorrow on ET, we're with the Yellowstone cast gearing up for season 5.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Next level.
Plus, our exclusive with Rock and Roll Hall of Fame icons Duran Duran, wild stories behind the music.
We were kicked out of a hotel. We had parties every night. It was extraordinary.
Happening now.
We're in Houston hearing directly from the woman accusing Josh Primo of indecent exposure, what this former female Spurs employee had to say, and how she says that the team responded. That's coming right up.
He is the newly appointed interim leader of the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District. What is his vision for the future, and how does he plan to rebuild trust in the community? Next.
And I'll be back with the latest information on our storm potential for Friday evening and how things change into the upcoming weekend. The news at 5 starts right now.
We're going to make sure that everything that's been previously swept under the rug is made public.
10 months. That's how long a former sports psychologist with the San Antonio Spurs says it took the organization to listen to her indecency complaints against basketball player Joshua Primo.
The former Spurs player was booted from the team last week after allegations of indecent exposure. But in a press conference today, we've learned this has been an ongoing battle. RJ
Marquez has the timeline and why that alleged 10-month wait will likely play a crucial role in the case.
This lawsuit was filed on behalf of Dr. Hillary Cawthon and names the Spurs and Josh Primo as the defendants. Cawthon says that the Spurs knew about these allegations for months and did not take any corrective action. In the lawsuit, Cawthon claimed Primo exposed himself a total of 9 times during their private sessions. She first told the organization in late December 2021, and in January she requested a meeting with General Manager Brian Wright, but the lawsuit claims that meeting was postponed until March. The lawsuit states Spurs officials told Cawthon the organization would take action, and she was allowed to work from home and stop traveling with the team, but she was ultimately asked to continue to meet with Primo. By June, she felt no disciplinary action would be taken, and the Spurs ultimately did not renew her contract in August.
I spoke up, I asked for help, I gave options. My voice and my feelings, my actionable items were silenced. Due to their inaction and protection of their assets, other individuals were impacted, and for that, I am truly sorry.
William Briggs is Josh Primo's lawyer. He released a statement to KSAT in response to the lawsuit, saying in part that his client is, quote, being victimized, and that, quote, Josh Primo never intentionally exposed himself to her or anyone else. And you could read the full statement from Josh Primo's attorney right now on KSAT.com. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we will talk more about potential criminal charges against Josh Primo and also what that lawsuit said about head coach Greg Popovich. That's all coming up at 6 o'clock on KSAT 12 News. Reporting in Houston, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Should be interesting, RJ. Thank you. And just a few hours after that explosive news conference in Houston, Spurs CEO R.C. Buford issued his own statement. He said, quote, "We disagree with the accuracy of facts, details, and timeline presented today. While we would like to share more information, we will allow the legal process to play out."
He then continued with, "Our organization remains committed to upholding the highest standards and will continue to live by our values and culture."
New at 5, San Antonio police have a murder suspect now behind bars. This is 38-year-old Jose Geraldo Gonzalez. He is accused of shooting and killing a man named Sam Soto back on October 14th.
Police were flagged down in the 1600 block of North Flores. They found Soto laying dead in the road with a bullet to the head. Police say the gun was left at the scene with Gonzalez's fingerprints on it. They also say neighbors helped them track him down.
We had the name and the face. Now we have the vision of how the new Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District Superintendent sees that road ahead. Gary Patterson taking over the fragile and hurt school system after the Robb Elementary School shooting. He tells our reporter Lee Waldman how he plans to fix what's broken and rebuild what had to go.
They'll never hear me say, "I understand how you feel," or "I know what you're going through," because I don't. I can't. But I can listen.
Newly appointed interim superintendent Gary Patterson knows he's in for an uphill battle when it comes to Uvalde CISD.
We can provide communication, transparency. We can provide that, and maybe some common ground can start coming together. We can start rebuilding some trust.
The mutual understanding of trust and sense of security shattered in the community on May 24th. Patterson has been meeting with the families of the 21 privately to try and turn that around.
We can build trust. Trust will bring respect for each other's views. Respect will then help restore a little more civil discourse in some of those meetings.
He also has the daunting task of creating a new district police force. The department has been suspended since October 7th following the hiring of Crimson Elizondo, a former DPS trooper who is under investigation for her role at Robb Elementary.
You build it carefully. You know, we look for a chief that can lead the department.
He says he'll personally oversee the hiring of each officer while using guidance from the Texas Police Chiefs Association. Under his temporary leadership, Patterson hopes to also restore unity, making Uvalde strong more than just a saying.
I do understand the anger and the frustration that comes along with it, but you know, it's a strong community, and we need to continue to build on that and not get fractured.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Meantime, Patterson says he is now working closely with the committee formed to build a new elementary school there. They will have a public meeting to discuss their progress on November 14th.
In the final days of voting in the midterm elections, Governor Greg Abbott is making a campaign stop in Von Ormy today. His main focus this rally, border issues. People from across Bexar County and surrounding communities gathered at a local business called Oracan Beef Feed and Supply for the event. Abbott and State Representative John Lujan hosted the Get Out the Vote rally. Issues related to education and the economy also took center stage. And when it came to the topic of plans to fight fentanyl, he answered with calls to secure the border.
We will label fentanyl for what it is. It is fentanyl poisoning. And then the second thing is this. The people who are lacing it on there and then knowingly selling it to somebody else, I want to increase their penalty and ensure that they will be charged with murder.
Coming up at 6, hear from an Elmendorf resident who attended the event and what issues she was hoping to learn his stance on. Right now on KSAT.com, Abbott's challenger, Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke, did a sit-down interview with our Steve Spriester. He spoke about the same issues and how he would approach them as governor. You can watch the full interview on our website or the KSAT YouTube page. And don't forget, tomorrow is the last day to vote early in the midterm election. After that, you'll have to wait until November 8th to cast your ballot. Polls are open until 8 tonight and tomorrow. There are 51 polling locations. To find a full list, visit our website, ksat.com/vote 2022.
A mother with a frantic message may have saved her son's life in an early morning fire. When firefighters got to the 13,500 block of Cassia Way on the city's north side at around 3:30 in the morning, the mother met them and told them she got her pet out of the fire, but not her son. He was overcome with smoke possibly and couldn't get out on his own. Well, he was found and he's now in the hospital.
We had a victim in the bedroom that was transported to the local hospital with critical burns and inhalation.
What investigators did not find there is the cause of the fire. Once it was out, they spent some time going through the home, but did not come away with any obvious answers.
And a chaotic scene at a home on the city's east side. San Antonio police are looking for the driver who crashed their car into a house, then took off on foot. This happened just before 1 this morning in the 2100 block of Martin Luther King Drive. Police say there was a 78-year-old woman inside at the time. She was hurt and taken to a nearby hospital. We are not sure of her condition, but do know she is scheduled to have surgery. Police said she won't be able to return to her home until repairs are made. And while the driver of the car ran away, a female passenger was detained.
Taking a look outside with your traffic authority. This is I-37 at Pecan Valley, and very little traffic on the road showing here.
Very smoothly for this time of day.
Absolutely.
And weather-wise out there, we've made it into the 80s where we have the sunshine. The clouds, of course, lingered through about the lunch hour. Now we've got some sun, 84 Floresville, Santa Maria 86, Bulverde 82 degrees, where the clouds have lingered a bit longer, still in the 70s, Mico even at 79 degrees. Now tomorrow, we're going to see more of the same, more humidity in the morning, but this evening, of course, stickiness to start the day, southeasterly wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and then fog developing late tonight all the way through tomorrow morning. And then we have the chance of a few thunderstorms. So a little bit of dampness tomorrow morning, slight chance of storms tomorrow evening. I'll be back in a little bit to tell you who's most likely to get some rain from those storms and time it out for you in just a bit.
The reaction was swift. Stocks tumbling yesterday after the Federal Reserve raised interest rates for the 6th time this year. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell says it's too soon to speculate when the Fed will pause these interest rate hikes, suggesting that rates could go even higher than expected.
We think there's some ground to cover but before we meet that test, and that's why we say that ongoing rate increases will be appropriate. We may ultimately move to higher levels than we thought.
The plan is to cool off spending to avert an economic slowdown. Meantime, companies are still hiring. Private companies added 239,000 jobs last month, while wages increased nearly 8%. Right now, there are 2 jobs available for every 1 worker. That means employers are likely going to need to keep raising salaries to attract workers. Those higher labor costs, though, are often passed on to the consumer, and that means higher prices again, fueling more inflation.
That interest rate hike comes just 3 weeks before Black Friday. It's not great timing for holiday shoppers who plan on using credit cards. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has what you need to know on how to avoid holiday debt hangover.
As holiday shoppers make their lists, a survey for NerdWallet finds most, 72%, will be paying with plastic.
Going to use credit cards for the holidays?
Yes. But yes, I do plan to use my credit card.
Well, I'm going to try not to use them so much.
Carrying a balance is about to cost even more now that the Fed raised a key interest rate again, which affects the cost of borrowing money.
So bottom line, it's more expensive. But expect your credit card interest rate to increase within a statement cycle or 2.
Just in time for those holiday purchases to show up on your credit card statement. Say you charge $1,000 on your credit card. You pay $200 a month for 5 months. With an interest rate of 18%, you'll pay about $47 in interest. To avoid getting buried in debt, Bankrate analyst Ted Rossman says start your holiday shopping with a written budget. Avoid store credit cards. Those rates are often sky high. Pay off balances every month. And if you can't, consider a 0% balance transfer card. Or just use cash.
People say with respect to credit cards that they're like power tools. They can be really useful or they could be dangerous. And I think you do need to keep that in mind as you do your holiday shopping.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
A 53-foot wall moved from Washington, D.C. to San Antonio, Texas. It's an emotional tribute to Vietnam veterans, and it's not just a sight to see. Coming up, how it's also an opportunity for learning and healing.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom where we're working on our 6 o'clock coverage today. Crime scene photos, bullet casings, and DNA, all part of testimony in the trial of a 19-year-old who was accused of murder. The defense is questioning some of that evidence, though, and it all centers on what they argue was a lack of testing. Election Day just 5 days away, and there was a range of candidates on the ballot across Texas. Max Massey sat down with the chairs of both the Bexar County Democrats and Bexar County Republicans to talk about the tops of their tickets. And we're talking about the race for Bexar County Judge. Yesterday, Republican Trish DeBerry joined us live, and today we'll be talking to her Democratic challenger, Judge Peter Sakai. That is coming up in our KSAT Q&A today on the news at 6.
Thank you so much, Myra. New at 5, an emotional tribute to the veterans of the Vietnam War. It's making a stop right here in Military City, USA. That wall heals is a 53-foot replica of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. It bears the names of more than 53,000 military veterans who died in the war.
It allows for Vietnam veterans to come down with their families. Some of them can't get to Washington, D.C., either physically or emotionally. They can come down here and experience the healing and educational nature of the wall 24 hours a day while it's here on this campus, and they can get that wonderful opportunity to reflect upon their service there, tell their family members about buddies that are there listed there on the wall, and forever remember the service and sacrifice of the 58,281 Americans who gave their all in this war.
Along with the wall, is a mobile education center. It's where visitors can learn about the history of the war. It will be there throughout the weekend before wrapping up in Cabot, Arkansas. This event, 3 years in the making. It was originally supposed to come to San Antonio back in 2020, but of course, like many things, was delayed due to the pandemic.
All right, now we're taking a look at live cam. A beautiful looking sky right there with some clouds in there. It was a humid start today. Is that to be expected to continue?
Oh man, we're going to notice this humidity for most of the 7-day forecast. You're going to notice humidity in the air. However, there will be a period of time where we get a nice little break from the mugginess. We'll get into that in a moment. I want to start with our rain and storm potential for tomorrow. That's kind of been the focus this week with the cold front moving in tomorrow evening. Now notice how I have the day split a little bit. We have a 30% chance all day, but most of the day, that 30% is just sprinkles and very light showers. It's 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. where we have a 30% chance of actually a few thunderstorms to develop. And I do think odds are pretty slim around town, slightly better east of San Antonio. So let's get right to it here. Big picture, good moisture, good energy, upper level system, very potent, still dropping in through the western and southwestern U.S. This is headed our way, but most of the energy is going to be north of us. However, the cold front will still make it through and help kickstart a few of the showers and thunderstorms. We'll take a look at the futurecast. We'll take our time with this. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., low clouds, a few spritzes and sprinkles here and there. Can't rule out a brief light shower. All in all, just some morning dampness. Then by the noon hour, we see a little bit of sunshine, but where the clouds linger, we could still have a few of those little light sprinkles, maybe a few hundredths of an inch. That's the 30% chance for most of the day. Then we get to the 6 o'clock hour and the potential for a few thunderstorms to develop. This is 7 p.m. and we've been saying for a few days now we're going to be right on the tail end of the activity, and this high-res futurecast really depicts that perfectly with most of the line farther to the north of us. Most of the storms Austin and northward at 6-7 p.m. Then we advanced 8-9 p.m. and we start to see a little more development east of San Antonio. That's where we'll have conditions that'll be more conducive for some thunderstorms to develop. 10-11 p.m., maybe leftover activity in Lavaca County, Gonzales County, DeWitt County, but by and large around San Antonio, we're not expecting a whole lot to develop in terms of those afternoon or early evening storms. So here's our main outlook. Time frame 6 to 10 p.m., mainly east of San Antonio. That's where the best chances are. We are watching for the off chance of a severe storm or two, maybe a severe gusty wind, up to 60 miles per hour, especially east and northeast of San Antonio. Bottom line, we're planning for most of us to be dry and breezy tomorrow evening. It could get in the way of some Friday night football, especially east of San Antonio, but we really don't anticipate many disruptions locally in Bexar County and even surrounding communities. Just the off chance up in Comal County and even parts of Guadalupe County. But most of us just breezy tomorrow evening and dry. Let's talk temperatures and dew points. We mentioned the mugginess. Dew point right now at 66. We feel the humidity with that southeasterly breeze. Tomorrow, very sticky. Dew point is 72. Before the weekend, the humidity gets swept away briefly. Saturday, Sunday, low humidity, and in turn, a change where we don't have fog in the morning. Otherwise, just get used to the fog pretty much every morning as long as we have the humidity in place. Temperatures right now for the most part in the 80s, some 70s up in the hill country. Uvalde at 80, Bernie now 77, Converse at 85 degrees. Tomorrow morning, we'll start the day right near 70. 69 in Helotes, 71 Stinson on the south side, Converse 71 by the afternoon. We'll squeeze in some sunshine and make our way into the mid-80s. Again, sprinkles and light showers through 5-6 p.m. Then that slight chance of a few storms, a narrow window of opportunity to see some of those storms, most of them east of San Antonio. This weekend, very fall-like, and then next week it's going to feel just like this again.
All right. Humidity returns. Thank you.
Looking forward to that weekend. And now the Spurs are making headlines off the court, but is it impacting them on the court?
No, I don't think so. I think they've been able to play around this drama, but at the same time, they ran up against a team that they could not beat, even if they were all healthy, I don't think. And when we come back, the Spurs had really one hand tied behind their back last night with so many injuries against Toronto. The worst loss in the Greg Popovich era, and the Astros get even, and boy, do they. Coming up. San Antonio Spurs suffered their worst defeat with Greg Popovich as their head coach when they were blown out by the Toronto Raptors last night, 143-100. Pop, who is now in his 27th season in the NBA, had to go up against the Raptors without their leading scorer in Keldon Johnson, along with fellow starter Devin Vassell due to injuries. And you can include both Isaiah Roby and Blake Wesley out for the Silver and Black. The Spurs were led by Keita Bates-Diop with 17 points, but he was the only starter in double figures as the Raptors ran away with this game, starting in the second quarter when Toronto outscored the Spurs 32-18, and again in the third, 40-21. To get out to as much as a 48-point lead. Pascal Siakam had a triple-double with 22 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. The Spurs fall 5-3 now.
That's a really good veteran team. That was a good test for us. I think it's clearly the best team we probably played all year, and that was a good test for us.
They deny, they switch. Very good basketball team. They do it really well, and we're probably not ready for that right now, obviously.
All right, back at home again tomorrow against the Clippers, 7 p.m. tip-off.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The NFL trade deadline came and went without the Dallas Cowboys making a move. There were reports that the Cowboys are close to trading for Texans wide receiver Brandon Cooks, but his guarantee of $18 million for next season, a little too rich for the Cowboys. Cowboys Vice President Stephen Jones met with the media inside AT&T Stadium to talk about Dallas standing pat.
We really like this team. We like the depth on this team. We were probably, for the most part, looking in an obvious area where, people might think we could use a little more help there. But I still like that. I like our crew there. I like CD. I like Gallup. I like Noah. I think Tolbert's coming. And then certainly, as I mentioned, we have guys that are on the IR that can come off that as well.
All right, this is the Cowboys bye week with their next game 1 week from this Sunday in Green Bay. Houston Astros roared back for their 7-0 loss in Game 3 of the World Series to blank the Phillies 5-0 with a combined no-hitter. All the Astros runs came in the fifth, highlighted by Alex Bregman's 2-run double. Starter Christian Javier threw 6 no-hit innings. 3 relief pitchers kept the Phillies' bats quiet as Houston gets even with Philadelphia at 2 wins apiece. They'll try and take the lead, by the way, tonight when they play the Phillies again in Game 5, with it all tied up at 2 wins apiece. And we have a very busy Thursday night at big game coverage because a lot of these teams move their games up to Thursday because of the possibility of storms tomorrow night.
Lots of stuff to keep an eye out for sure. Thanks for that, Greg. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back. Thanks so much for watching the News at 5 with us.
Yeah, we enjoyed having you today, and World News is next. We'll see you at 6 and 10.